Want to get in there and start. Oh, what happened to my goblins? No way. Oh no. Don't tell me. But anyway, you guys, what are you guys looking for as I try to get this back? Oh, please.
Trying to figure out if we're doing this diplomatically or, aggressive negotiations. Trying to steal a line from Star Wars.
Are these like savage goblins, jungle goblins that are just going to attack first?
Well, Commander Breakbone didn't tell you that they didn't attack him. There were just too many of them. But the Batiri goblins do attack. They do attack Commander Breakbone from time to time. They definitely do.
However, the kobolds also used to attack the dwarves from time to time, and we managed to settle that dispute.
Mm-hmm.
Dave, would I know what these goblins would really want? Want or need?
Well, you do know that goblins will trade with humanoids, other humanoids, as if it works into their favor. You do know that. So, I mean, it is possible that you may be able to maybe do some kind of a negotiation or talk to them or have an audience with maybe their leader.
Okay. Guys, it looks like... Look, I know these goblins. They do look to trade. I'd bathe in their blood at least once a month.
That's the only time she takes her monthly baths is in goblin blood.
Is that how you keep your skin looking so young?
That's it. But if we want to avoid a fight here, because there seem to be quite a bit of them, we could negotiate, maybe possibly pretend to trade with them, so that we can get what we want. What exactly are we here for?
We're hoping that they have the amulet of control for our nice little construct friend back there.
Oh, okay.
You know that these goblins probably, and especially with, Commander Breakbone did bring some of the tribute and stuff, and plus some of this tribute was still on Vorn, draped around, it's his neck and arms and stuff, and it did look like, seeing that goblins are your favorite enemy, it does look like, yes, the goblins were probably worshiping Vorn. Just because of the trinkets and stuff, and the stuff that Commander Breakbone had as well, you could tell that it was definitely made by goblins.
I say we try to convince them that if they give us this amulet, we can bring their god to life.
Yeah, they'll probably want the god to be brought to the amulet.
Did you bring Vorn along with you? Is Vorn back in the boat?
I don't know if that was a decision we made or not.
I didn't.
We didn't make that decision.
Yeah. So I guess Vorn is still back at the encampment, the Lords of the Alliance camp. So.
Okay, so I guess as a precaution, just in case we have to book it out of there, I'll cast Longstrider on everyone, and then I'll cast Enhance Ability Charisma on Nathray, and Nathray can do the negotiation. And then if the negotiation looks like it's not going so well, then Darganath can go for the pick.
Got that skills tab open and ready.
All right, adventurers. So it looks like you're going to try to take the diplomatic type of route, huh?
You know what? I love I want to say, completely out of character, I love the fact that I always get stuck in groups that are murder hobos, and I love that we try any other way other than killing everything every single time.
I do have to say this, though, Chris. If Zero was here, he'd be teaming to be throwing fireballs into that mess. He would.
So I made another DM kind of upset because I almost always talked my way out of combat.
Oh, it's like I've always said. Depending on if you kill these animals or you negotiate your way out of it, you're still going to get the experience, whether you kill them or not. So, yeah. But most parties, you're right.
Because they wanted some combat.
Really? Wow. I don't care. I do. I like either. So, yeah, I like either. Okay, adventurers. So it looks like you guys are going to take the diplomatic approach, and you're going to try to. How are you going to go right into this? You know, a little bit more about this encampment as well. You notice that there's another couple tents, like I said, on this massive tarp with massive tree limbs. You notice that there are a couple of large anthills, which are these circles. Here's one here I'm going to draw. You guys are close to them. And it looks like there are just tons and tons of ants. I mean, just tens of thousands of ants just, going in and out of all of the holes on these anthills. And these things are actually pretty tall. They're about 10 foot across, and they're about 8 feet high, and there's just tens of thousands of ants. Now, also, there is a pretty interesting device that you see, which there's also some wooden cages to the south. There's a wooden cage, and you look around, and it does not look like there is anyone inside of the cage. Now, there is also right here, there are a couple of goblins kind of watching this place, and it's a huge cut tree trunk, and it has a huge piece of wood that's bent over, and you can just tell that it's under a lot of tension. And it looks like there are several ropes that are tied to the end of this bent over tree. The ropes are tied to the big logs that are under the huts, and under this big tarp. So you're kind of looking at this thing going, what in the hell is going to happen if they cut those ropes? Because, like I said, that bent over tree is under an enormous amount of pressure and tension. So you put two and two together, but that's what it looks like. It looks like this thing would probably go flying if they cut it. The tarp, that is, with all the tents and stuff. I don't know. They're goblins. You just got to give them the benefit of the doubt. They are goblins.
I got a question for DM.
Sure, I got an answer.
If I apply a poison to a blade and then store it, how long will that poison last, or will it just last until used?
Yeah, we'll just say that it'll last until use. I don't want to get into that, that technicality type of stuff, But yeah, if you apply it, sure, it will. Just make sure you make a note of it, and let me know when you use it, and then deduct the poison vial from your sheet. So I'm
probably
easy like that.
What I'll do is I'll put on my action tab, I'll put them as poison daggers and give myself an ammo for how many of my poison.
That's a great idea. That's a really good idea.
I've had this gourd of poison for so long I can't even remember when I got it, and I kind of want to just use it to apply poison to 6 of my daggers that I use for throwing.
Sure, yeah, you can do that. Yeah, that's right. You've had that for a long time.
Just don't accidentally set the one.
I don't. Do you need me to do a roll for applying this poison, or?
No. I mean, you're proficient with it anyway, so no, you don't have to do that.
And then I don't remember what kind of poison this is. So does it just apply like poison status, so they're disadvantaged?
That's it. That's exactly what it is. It just applies the poison condition, and you can name it anything that you want. So, adventurers, it is time.
So we're going to let Nathray take the lead on this, right?
One last thing I do want to make a note of. There's one of the tents here that has quite a few heavily armored goblins around the tent. And you guys can actually see this. There are quite a few, like I said, heavily armored goblins around one tent in particular. And you can see it, and I'll draw an arrow to it right there. And that is
probably where the leader is.
That's what you see, adventurers. There are quite a few. There's almost 40 goblins here. So the ball is in your court. Adventurers, what shall you do? Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking Vay and I should approach one of the goblins and ask to see the leader.
Yeah, we are interested in trade of huge quantities, and we'd really like to speak to the leader.
So you guys walk out, I would assume, from behind the rocks. There are several goblins in your vicinity. And I guess you come out how do you come out? What I know you guys want to negotiate and barter, so it looks like only Nothray and Vey. Everybody else is still going to stay concealed in the bushes and in the rocks. You guys are still going to be bushwhacking, I guess.
Oh no, sorry. I'm gonna walk out with them. Yeah, I was trying to work on the poison daggers.
Okay, sure. Vey, also, if you want a different token, let me know if you want a different token, and I'll get you another token. Okay, all right, very good. Okay, so as you guys come out from around the bushes and from around that big rock, you're stepping on branches and dead leaves on the ground, and you're making all kinds of noise, and the goblins hear you. They turn around, and one of them has a little whistle around his neck, a little wooden whistle, and he blows it, and now the entire encampment is on high alert, and they start to move towards you. And the goblins is speaking in Goblinoid, telling you to put down your weapons. It's basically the goblin says, "Put down your weapons. You're going into the cage. How dare you come to Yellyark and try to attack the mighty and fierce biting ant tribe?" And he's kind of poking his spear out towards you guys, and he's saying, "Off with the weapons, on the ground. Oh, there's more of you. Onto the ground."
In Goblinoid, I let them know that we are keeping our weapons and we're here to trade.
Trade? And then the goblin looks over towards you, Nothray, and he speak. Do you speak Goblinoid by chance, Nothray, or Goblin?
Unfortunately, not.
He looks over, and you can hear this, Vey, and he asks, "Why is the Dark Elf with humans and elves?" And I guess you would probably translate that, right?
Yeah. I translate everything, and I respond that he is integral to our trade agreement.
Okay. Give me a persuasion roll. And seeing that these are your favorite enemies, I'm going to let you do that roll with advantage, Vey.
Well, will you let me do it without having persuasion?
Well, you're trying to persuade him, right?
Yeah.
What else do you think you could use? Attack! I attack! Ah! No, I'm just kidding.
Can I persuade Drew, Vey, since she can speak the language?
Yeah, we didn't think about this.
I'll entertain that. So, goblins do work with dark elves, especially in the Underdark.
Yeah,
So
he can kind of stand up and be kind of in front of me, so to speak, giving the gestures and being diplomatic. And
Yeah, sure, sort of like that, and maybe you guys are kind of flanking on the sides and stuff. Yeah, I could totally, I can go with that. So why don't you go ahead and make the
when he speaks, I translate for him, but I'm just saying these things so.
Okay, so you're basically looking at him, looking at the goblin,
he's
stuff like
talking
that.
and he's being diplomatic. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Doing the same hand gestures as him. So yeah, why don't you, Nothray, why don't you give me a persuasion check with advantage? I definitely will entertain anything. I mean, it makes sense, Vey. I mean, it really does. No, roll initiative. There's a lot of DMs out there that would just do that, man.
Right.
All right, let me do a roll really quick to do a contest with you. Oh yeah, he's actually enamored by the Dark Elf, and he translates to you. Well, he tells you in Goblin, Vey, that he will go seek their queen, and he will ask the queen if she will have an audience with you. And then he says, "What types of goods do you trade?" Before I talk to Queen Grabstab, what goods do you trade?
What do I think that these goblins would be interested in, since I know them so well?
Yeah, any kind of like tools, primitive weapons, maybe some food. And it doesn't even have to be the highest quality type of food. Maybe some goats, some chickens, maybe goats, chickens, stuff like that, cows, anything like that. Rations. I don't know. I don't know. What do you think, Shen? You're an old school D&D player. Do you think those would be too good of a quality for the goblins? Maybe that they might taste bad
I
to
would
them.
say so.
I don't
Yeah.
plan on trading anything with them. I'm just talking bullshit. So as soon as Nothray
We
goes
have
through some
gold.
motions, I'm going to translate for him.
Sure.
And it doesn't matter what Nothray says. I tell him.
Nothray doesn't know what the hell you're saying anyway, man. So
That's right.
I
So I
love
tell
it.
them that
I
we
give
have.
her a weird look.
I'm translating what he says, but I'm just not. I tell him that we have. We're trading food and advanced weaponry.
Ooh, wow. Now that you definitely got the attention of this goblin, and he is going to go talk to Queen Grabstab to see if you can have an audience with her. And he skedaddles, he skedaddles right over to that tent to where everyone is guarding. Well, those heavier armored and weaponed, they have better weapons and stuff. So this goblin disappears into the tent. And a couple other goblins, they come over. These goblins don't look too tough. Not like the ones that are around the encampment. You can see a couple of fires around, the this large tribe. Actually, you see some runts running around, playing some games, playing some chase. You can see that there's a couple of boats down by the water. And after a couple of minutes, the goblin comes back out, and he makes his way over towards you rather quickly. And he says, "Queen Grabstab will see 2 of you now. Any 2 of you. Or 3 of you. 2, 3. And then he just kind of says, 3 of you. And then he just kind of tilts his eye a little bit like Spock. And says, the Queen will see you now. Follow me. Only 3 of you. The rest of you stay here."
If Omi is still over there where he is.
Is what now?
Is Omi still over there?
Omi? Yeah, I guess. I haven't seen Omi move his token, so yes, I would imagine Omi is still bushwhacking. He's still crying about Mr. Spoony being the soulmonger.
I think Shen and I are hanging out.
I tell Nothray what he said, and I tell him to, say something and point at all of us.
Well, I think Shen's over with Omi. I see Shen, your tokens are. Are you over with Omi, or are you with everybody else?
I was standing over here with everybody else. But
Oh,
Okay.
then
I will
would-
stay and let those 3 go.
I would've- I would've been
I
with
want
Shen,
everyone.
wherever
I want
Shen was.
everyone to go, and I have something for that. And as Nothray says those things and points at the other people, I
Mhm.
translate and let them know that this guy here is the
Barbarian,
our
thanks so much for the
technical
bits.
expert on the
I really
foods,
appreciate it.
and I point to Shen. This is our master at arms.
Thank you so much,
And
Barbarian.
Omi here, he knows the trade negotiations and all the specs on the weapons that we have. This entire group is needed for negotiations.
The goblin says, "Ay, ay, 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 ay." And then he starts counting 1, 1, 2, 3, 3. Okay, you can all come. You all, you all come. There's 3 of you. 1, 2, 2, 2, 3. 3. All 3 of you come. And he's this dumb old goblin. He leads you over to the tent. And as you guys work your way around, there is an open couple of, leathery doorways that are kind of attached to the side. And inside, it's not a very big tent either. I mean, it's only it's like a 10 by 10 tent. So you guys go ahead and move your tokens over there. You guys are, don't be scared to move your tokens. As you guys follow the goblin over to the tent. Dude, Zero would totally be throwing a fireball right now. He would. He'd take out half these goblins. Okay, so as you look inside of the tent, you can see that there is a female goblin in your presence. And let me kind of move her right here. And she's actually a pretty big goblin for a female goblin. And as you look inside of the tent is got all kinds of grand little trinkets and these little miniature Batiri goblin totems that you guys have seen all around the wooded area, the jungle, where you guys were traveling to Yellowyark here. And there's like a weapon rack with some spears and a couple javelins, and you notice that the first thing, who's the first one in there?
I'd say Nothra is going to be the first.
Nothra,
followed by me.
Okay, sounds good. The you two, as soon as you guys are walking in, the first thing that you notice, and this is the quality of the goblin stuff is here, is they've definitely traded before, you could tell, because there's a lot of human-made items and elvish items like rugs and a couple of tapestries and stuff like that. So, but the first thing that you notice is this massive Mr. T medallion that is around the neck of this Queen Grabstab. And you can see, plain as day, I mean, seriously, this medallion is as big as that goblin's chest. Like I said, it is totally it's a Mr. T starter kit, and it has Vorn etched into this medallion. And this is definitely the control amulet that you guys have seen from the book that 010 has, and the etchings and all of the, it says blatantly Vorn on this amulet. And she kind of bows a little bit, and she says, "One of my stooges here," and she has a very raspy type of voice as well. "One of my stooges here have told me that you have come and requested an audience with Queen Grabstab about trading some goods. What do you seek from us here for the tribe? Do you seek fish? We have plenty of fish." And then, as you guys are, walking up, and you guys can see more of the encampment, you can see on the western side of this place that there's probably about 40 or 50 racks of small fish. These quippers. You guys have seen quippers before. They're like the piranha, and they're the piranha of D&D. So these quippers, there's probably 40 or 50 logs that are just hanging with pieces of string of just hundreds, if not thousands, of quippers that are just basically drying out. So obviously there's a little smell, but hey, you're in a goblin encampment. It's not like it's not going to smell anyway. So, but you can see that it looks like that, they have fishing boats down there, a lot of nets. You can see some of the goblins, they're repairing nets, they're making more nets, and, still some of the goblins are pulling fish out of the nets. So she asks if you are here to trade for fish, because that's pretty much what they trade to all of the humans. And she says, "Our price is 50 copper for 100 quippers. Dried and salted for your convenience."
I speak up and let her know that I am the only one in the group who can speak her language, and that I will be translating for our leader, and I point to Nothra.
Stormhound, thank you so much for the support, Stormhound. "Well, it's good to speak with you, and I guess you and I will be doing the business."
Well, I
thank you again,
speak
Stormhound.
to Nothra and
Appreciate
let her know that what I said, and ask if that is the amulet that we're looking for.
That looks like the amulet. I think we should work to trade towards this.
Yeah, why don't you ask her about that amulet?
Queen Grabstab hears you talking about this amulet, and she says, "This amulet belongs to me. It is for the god that we worship, the big metal god, the big metal ant god."
Dave, what do I
Yes.
know of goblins? What is their most hated thing? What they hate the most?
Well, even
What
even though that they are part of the goblinoid family, they sometimes hate their hobgoblin and bugbear relatives because of, of course, the goblins are the runts, so the goblins have to do all the crap work. But You don't see any hobgoblins
What
around here.
about-
You don't see any bugbears.
Right. What about fear? I think I meant more like fear. What do
Well,
they
I
fear?
mean, they fear extinction. You know, I mean, if they fear humans, I mean, they're definitely fearful of humans and other giants and ogres and stuff like that, and the orcs. Because a lot of the times the orcs will put them in captivity, and then they'll have to fight for the orcs, and they're basically the front line to where they just go in and get killed anyway. They're like the cannon fodder.
All right.
So she knows about Vorn and what he is, so maybe we should explain to her that Vorn has sent us to fetch the amulet, that he wants it back.
Well, we have to definitely stay in character at this moment, as we're right in front of her.
Yeah,
So-
he
So
doesn't.
that's what I'm telling you. So.
Yeah, and the queen doesn't understand what you're saying, Nothray, because she does not speak Underdark Common.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah, she does not.
All right, then I translate for her. And I told her that we were expecting to trade good foods, fine foods, and advanced weapons. And what we seek in return is the amulet on your chest.
This is property of Ant God, but goblins love to trade. Queen Grabstab loves to trade. What types of armors and foods do you have and weapons to trade? It better be a good deal, because there's a chance that I could really make Vorn mad at me for getting rid of this prized possession of his.
And I repeat that to Rathray. Or speak it in common for everyone to hear. I let her know that I'm going to negotiate a little differently than maybe we thought we would, if that's all right.
Yeah, let's give her what you think we should, to not make her pissed. We need that
Alright.
medallion.
All right, I turn back to little Grabstab.
Yeah,
That's
Queen
right.
Grabstab, yep.
Well, we have a two-part trade. The weapons and food that you would receive would be whatever you requested. However, the amulet we would need up front, because we seek to rescue Vorn with the amulet.
Rescue Ant God? Is Vorn in trouble? Shall I summon army and we go fight? Who's taking Vorn? Is it the undead? Is it those stinky humans over at Camp Righteousness?
Unfortunately, the human capital, they have found Vorn, and they have him. They don't
Oh,
understand what he is, but they are holding him in their keep.
And
They're-
she's doing hand gestures. Vorn is Ant God. Vorn is all end all be all, most powerful in all of world.
Yeah, we agree.
Well, I'll tell you what. You have the weapons here? I don't see any. I don't. Are you giving us your weapons? Is that the advanced weaponry you're talking about, milady?
Not exactly. That is part 2 of the trade agreement. We will need to get Vorn to secure the weapons. But you see, it's a win-win. The Ant God is brought back to life, and you get the weapons.
Ooh. Step outside of my tent for just a second. I need to speak with my council to see what we want to do. Just please, shoo. Out of my tent for just a second. give me a minute or two. So as as she shoos you guys out of the tent, a couple of the other goblins go inside, and you can hear pss, 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 and they're not speaking very loud. And after a couple of minutes go by, Vey and Nothray and everyone else, all of a sudden the tent flaps both spring open again, and a couple of goblins come out, and they're kind of snickering. And the queen comes out, and she walks over to you guys. She kind of looks around and is looking for you. And she walks over to you, and her council also walks over to you. And she says, we don't want your silly weapons. What we want is And then she kind of turns around and looks towards all of the goblins, and they're all kind of snickering and sneering. She says, "We'll take 40,000 copper. We'll be the richest goblins in all of the lands." We'll take 40,000 copper. If you can afford that, that is. But that's what it's going to take to get the medallion off of my neck.
I turn to the others. All right, guys, she wants 40,000 copper. Do we even have that?
I don't want 40,000 gold. I don't want 40,000 platinum. I don't even want 40,000 silver. I want 40,000 copper.
How many copper pieces? What's the breakdown for that?
Remember that, guys?
Well, each of us got
Austin
7,500
Powers?
copper from Cindalore's treasure.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
we do
I'm
have
looking
that.
at the party sheet. You guys do have. You guys actually totally. I didn't even look. You guys actually have 40. You guys have 45,899 combined copper between everybody. That's including 010 too, and I'm sure 010 wouldn't probably mind taking copper.
All right, well, all right. Now that I know what to have, I turn back.
Mm-hmm.
It appears that we only have 30,000 with us.
Give me a persuasion check. I rolled a 10.
That's 12.
Well, let's see. Yeah, you rolled a. Let's see. I didn't see your roll. Did you roll?
Not me. Not really doing the negotiations, right?
Yeah. So yeah, as you're translating, yeah, Nothray, give me the persuasion check. Nice roll.
Holy shit.
Because he's got advantage because of the goblins, yeah. So, yeah, as she's just enamored with Nothray as well, and she says, and then she kind of turns around towards the other council members that she has, and they're still snickering away. And she turns around and she says, "Okay, 30,000 copper. But you have to have 30,000 copper. And if you don't have the copper, you do not get the medallion." And she kind of has a cackle.
Well, she's laughing a lot. What do I read into this negotiation?
You think that she's thinking that she's going to be the most richest. She basically wants to pull a Scrooge McDuck and dive into all of those mounds of copper that she's fixing to get. That's pretty much what she wants to do, and she even goes as far as to say, "If you have the 30,000 copper, I will dig a trench and swim in all of my money."
You guys have that in like a bag of holding or something, right?
Yeah, if we each,
It's on our character, right? 7,500.
yeah, it's down in your inventory tab down at the bottom. So if we each give 5,000 copper pieces, we could afford it.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right,
you
start
pull
counting.
out-
1, 2, 3.
Oh, she is
Three,
just. Her
three,
eyes are big. Oh yeah, 333 like the other goblin. Nice.
We're each given 5,000 then.
I tell her to go ahead and dig a trench.
Oh, she snaps her fingers quick. She tells the councilman to go and get shovels and start digging her pool so she can start swimming in her copper pool. Oh, that's so good, man. I don't want 30,000. I don't want 40,000 gold. I don't want 40,000 platinum. I want 40,000 copper. Sort of like Austin Powers. I don't want billions. I want millions. Oh, so she takes the medallion from around her neck, and after the hours and hours that it takes to count out and dig that trench, she hands over the medallion. So she hands the medallion over to Nothray, And then she looks at you, Vey, and thanks you for basically handling the negotiation.
It was a pleasure.
Oh, that is too good.
Long live the Nth God.
Yes.
We got the amulet, and we freed up a whole lot of space in that bag of holding.
And you freed up a bunch of space, and you basically eliminated a 3-week-long fight with 40 goblins and no fireball spells. So yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we might have died here.
I don't know. You guys are what level? You guys are like level 5. I mean, I think you guys would have been okay. I think so personally.
Got probably one shot hit.
Yeah, goblins are pretty weak. So I personally think you guys probably would have been okay. That's just my opinion.
I thought it was bath time myself.
I still have a couple of weeks left.
Yeah, that would have been a couple weeks of encounter, though, huh?
Yeah. Let me give you guys some experience. You guys will get 233 apiece for the goblins. And I also want to give you a little bit of experience for running into Dragonbait and your new companion, Artus Cimber. So let me find that encounter again. I thought I had it in there, but I didn't. So you guys found out some more information tonight. Man, was that kind of shocking to you there? Finding out about the soul
Spoon of
monger?
Annihilation.
Oh yeah, Omi's gonna be like thinking that one over for a long time.
Wow, look at this, guys. Look at that chunk. That's for the temple, and that's for also joining up with Dragonbait and also Artus Cimber. So a great night for experience tonight. You guys got over just about 2,000. Actually, you got 2,000 experience exactly, I think. So wow, what a great night! How close are you guys to the next level? Are you guys starting to get pretty close?
What is level 6?
I'm like
14?
3,000, 2,500 away.
Nice. You guys are getting there.
2,800, yeah.
You guys are getting there. So yeah, Vey, you can go ahead and put 11,400 XP. Nothra, you can do 11,400 as well. So you guys will be caught up. And then the amount of XP that you need, Omi is 14,000, and Vey you need 14,000. So you can put that in there too. So
Yeah,
what next? Nope, go ahead, Chris. I'm sorry.
Wait, sorry, what XP should I be at now? I found it.
14,000 for level 6, I think is 14,000.
But 11,400 is what we have.
Okay.
Yep, 11,400. You guys got a couple of trinkets. Those of you who survived your Constitution saving throws, which were actually all 3 of you, you guys got some pretty nice little charms. 3 use or 10 days, or also keep track that it's been. We'll say that 10 days once you. I think 10 days. We'll say 20 days. So you still got 15 days on the amulet, Omi. So we'll say that you still have 15 more.
Okay.
So keep track of that for me, and I'll write that down also. So now that you guys have the amulet of Vorn, I guess you guys are probably going to force march another day back down to Camp Vengeance.
Now we got a shield construct.
Yeah, 0-10, unless somebody else is going to take it. You're going to break 0-10's heart, though, if he doesn't get it. So we'll say you guys do another force march. Why don't you guys give me Constitution saving throws on the day trip back down to Camp Vengeance from Yellow York. Oh my! So your rolls are slamming, guys. Yeah, that buff really helped out from Omi. So you guys force march it. You guys are a little tired. You make it back down to Camp Vengeance. It is starting to the sun's starting to go down past the canopy of trees. And when you get back, I would say, what do you guys want to do with the amulet? Do you want to give it to 010 or what? Because he is the one that actually had the leather-bound journal anyway.
Yeah,
That sounds good to me.
I agree.
Okay, so we'll say you guys get back to Camp Vengeance. We'll go ahead and we'll give you guys a long rest, which you guys really didn't need one anyway. Seeing that it's close to 9, we'll go ahead and we'll end it here. And next week we'll start, and hey, 010 will have a massive surprise as a construct golem comes to life as you hand him the amulet. So I think that'll be pretty cool, and he'll like that. So, but he'll have Vorn, and then we'll talk about Vorn at the beginning of the next session, what he does, and then we'll decide what you guys want to do. You still have what, 13 days before you're supposed to meet Dragonbait and Artus Cimber down in Omu. So, great game tonight, everybody. You guys found out a lot more about the Soulmonger and visions, and you got a construct now, and you didn't have to fight a bunch of Batiri goblins. So, yeah, good job tonight,
Couple
everybody.
NPCs we're meeting. Yeah.
You got a half dragon, well, a dragon man with a holy avenger that's fighting with you. You got, Artus Cimber with the powers that he has, and he looks pretty good for saying that he's over 100 years old because he met his wife over 100 years ago. So for a human, he looks pretty darn good. So you're thinking something's up with that too. So there you go, everybody. Great game tonight, and I will see you guys next Friday again at 6 p.m. That's our regularly scheduled time slot to play. So thanks everybody tonight for being able to play to make up that game earlier. I totally appreciate it, and I will see you guys next Friday.